Hi everyone, my name is Bella, and in 5 years, I see myself working with kids and adolescents as that seems to be my, primary or preferred population. I've tried working with adults and it just doesn't work for me. But in 5 years, I see myself working with them, and I think that taking a sex positive approach would be incredibly important, especially that's something that I really lacked when I was their age. So I think actually sitting there and having someone just sit there and talk to about it and be as open as they want. I want to be that person for them where if they're struggling or want to know questions that they have that ability to ask me about it. I think that education around contraceptives and things like that is also super important as it's something that really isn't talked about enough. I know when I was their age, I barely knew anything. I also came from a very religious background, so it was always pushed abstinence was the only kind of birth control. But even then, when I went to college was when I found out that there was more than just condoms and the pill. And so I think providing that education that there's more than just those two, and also there's different forms for people who are in non heterosexual relationships as well. A lot of people don't sit there and they don't think about it, especially I know when I currently work with kids, and this is something that we're currently trying to do. And a lot of the kids are sitting there and they're very confused when we sit there and talk about safe sex practices with two girls having sex, and they're very confused and they're like, well, why do you need to be safe? You can't get pregnant from that. And so I think a lot of providing that psychoeducation around safe sex, what does safe sex actually mean? And I think actually encouraging them to provide their own research and providing them with different situations and information. And like I said, just being there for them to sit there and bounce ideas off of and be able to ask those awkward questions because they might not have people in their life to be able to actually do that. So I think if that's something I'm able to do and I'm able to be that person for someone to really be able to encourage them to sit there and be informed and make those smart decisions so that they don't have things that impact them later on in life, I think that would be extremely beneficial to that population. Um, as far as our burning question, I guess for me it's more just one thing I really want to understand more is just how everything just so closely interconnects with one another. I know in the assignment this week I was sitting there and I was really sitting there trying to think about how much culture really impacts someone's own sexuality, and I feel I'm just constantly blown away by how many factors impact one another. So I guess it's more just how do you become so informed about all of it? I feel it's a never ending list of things to be informed about.